What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Max here, and today I'm gonna be telling you guys a story about the time I beat this guy in front of his wife. Alright guys, so this story takes place like summer of 2020. You know, at this point in my life, I had got in my car, I was at my girlfriend's house, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, so I was like, yo, I gotta start going home because it's getting late as fuck. I'm not gonna be able to find parking. So I leave her house, right? Get in my car, and I start driving. And her house, there's like a house, and then once you go across this one block, it's like the kind of like the big strip that leads to the highway. So I start driving up her block, right? I'm about to get to that one spot where it leads to the highway, and I get to the light, there's one guy in front of me, and then there's this driveway to my left. So I'm waiting for the light to change, and out of the driver from the left, some car starts coming, and he's supposed to wait till I go, because there's no one behind me, and then he could go in, follow up, right? So he's supposed to wait till the car in front of me leaves, I leave, and then he's supposed to go in. But he just starts going in front of me to a point where he was like this close from my car, and I was getting kind of tight. I'm like, yo, why the fuck are you getting so close? What's the rush? So I move up, and I'm like, you're not getting in front of me. Don't get me wrong, I was still kind of new to driving, and my driving balls weren't that big. But this night, I was feeling a little different, and I wasn't about to let that motherfucker disrespect me like that. So I move up, and he sees me, and then he starts trying to move up more, but I move up, the light changes, and I go in front of him, right? But this motherfucker was crazy. So he starts speeding, trying to go in front of me. He speeds, he's on my left, he's giving me the finger, then he goes in front of me. And I'm just like, I could let this slide, but I'm not. That's when the road rage hit. I was like, yo, fuck you, bro. You ain't gonna do me like that. I pull up, go to the side, and I go right in front of him, cut him off, and there's the light. So he's tight. I see him in the rear view mirror. He's behind me. He's getting tight and shit. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. So then he starts trying to race in front of me. And mind you, it's like 10 o'clock at night. This whole strip was empty. There was no cars there whatsoever. So we weren't being dangerous in any way. But he goes in front of me. So I'm like, nah, fuck that. So I speed, I go in front of him. And now he's getting tight. Him and his wife are looking at me. They're like cursing at me. And I was like, what's some small ass motherfucker like you gonna do? If he was to really choose to come out of the car, I would have no problem, you know, pulling him out of that car, throwing him to the floor, and beating his fucking ass. But I'm not that type of person. I was not about to do that unless it really came down to it. But I was kind of taking this as a learning experience. You know, it was my first time as a driver, you know, really putting my foot down and being like, yo, I got nuts. I ain't gonna let this motherfucker disrespect me like that. You know, people always tell you, you gotta be an aggressive driver. You can't be letting people do stupid shit like that because they're gonna start an accident. You're gonna be the one hit and they're gonna drive off and you're gonna be the blame for it. So at this point, you know, we're just fucking with each other, trying to get in front of the other one and leaving them at the red light. But, you know, as we're approaching, I stayed at my girlfriend's house a lot, so I knew the street really well, and I knew once you got to the certain part, there was one of those traffic lights that see you if you're going too fast and they take a picture of your car. So I was like, yo, I'm about to get this motherfucker a ticket. So he starts going, he's trying to go in front of me again, and at this point I slow down, he races in front of me, he speeds the light, and that's when you see the light go off. It takes pictures of his car shit, and I have gotten that ticket before, so I knew it was like $50 or $75, some shit like that, and it wasn't OD, but I had to let him know, if you fuck with me, you're gonna get fucked. So the light flashes, he slows down, he stops at the red light. I pull up real slow right behind him. I look at him, I'm like, and the light changes, I go by. You know, he was fucking pissed. I would have been pissed. He was fucking pissed. And at the end of the day, it was his fault. Right after that, I got onto the highway. He went whatever way he went. I drove home. I found parking. I went upstairs. I probably played video games and beat my meat like I do every night. But it was just a pretty good day for me. Not the craziest story I have, but it was still pretty funny to me. I thought I put it out there. And that, guys, is the story of the time I beat this motherfucker in front of his wife. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you like storytime videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. We almost at 500 subs, and we can hit that soon. This has been Max. Peace out, y'all. I'll see you on the next video.
People ask what it do. Could put a man on the nose. My boys playing my songs. My girl playing my flute. Ask me what I'm up to. Counting bands, they blue. I was playing my roles. Now I play on my toes. Yeah, 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 yeah.